Can you hear us?
How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Can you hear us well, and can you see us well?
Loud and clear, and I can see you.
Awesome. How are you?
I am doing well.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on. Let me go ahead and allow you the opportunity to introduce yourselves and tell us what is It's Grady Baby.
Okay, so I'm Mitra.
I'm Derek.
And our podcast is called It's Grady Baby Podcast. We started this podcast because we both have a lot of single friends, and we just want to share with the world that, you know, you can find love and you can be successful. So we just started our podcast just first because of the pandemic, just being in the house and not being able to, you know, talk to as many people as we do. And we found out that our podcast, like we are actually in 8 different countries. So, I mean, our reach is really out there, and we have gotten a lot of views and subscribers. So we just wanted to continue to share our knowledge, whether it be family, relationships, whatever.
Yeah, we've been doing this since when did we start?
February.
February.
Okay. So it started out as something you were just doing in the meantime because you were bored because of the whole pandemic.
Absolutely.
And now come a calling for you. You actually are helping and inspiring other couples, or those that want to be in a relationship, to actually know there is real love still exists.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So what topics did you want to discuss, or did you want me to go by numbers here?
We can go by numbers.
Okay.
I guess just pull something out of the hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 5.
I'll let you go.
5.
Number 5 is topic of your choice.
Okay. So
right back and forth.
Yeah, back to us. So I guess we can talk about how we met. It's a funny story. We basically there's a lot of bad stigmas with online dating, and we actually met when MySpace was out. I don't know.
Oh my! I can't even remember what year that was.
2006.
Okay.
Well, it was in its prime in 2006. Well, he sent me a message, and I didn't know, like, I had never, as you all can see, he's Caucasian, and I've never dated a Caucasian, anybody outside of my race whatsoever. So I saw this message, and I was
Caucasian?
What's that?
I said he's Caucasian. The tan, I couldn't tell.
Oh, girl, he be out getting his tan on every day. So, so he sent me a message, and I was like, who is this? So I deleted the message. Like, he messaged me, like, we argue about this, but I think it was about 4 times before I ever responded back. So I was like, who is
Now,
messaging me?
At the time, I was probably messaging a lot of people, so I really
Look,
don't know.
wow.
And to be honest,
You not gonna hurt his go. You wasn't the only one. You weren't special.
I know, right?
At the time, I was just like Steph Curry. I would shoot whatever, but
He was just throwing it up.
Actually, what's that?
You were just throwing it up. Whatever
Yeah. So it turns out she was on a trip with another guy at the time when I messaged her.
Okay, Misco, let me explain that. It'll come back. I was actually on a trip with my best friend at the time.
Okay.
So, yeah. So he was just a friend. It wasn't like we were in a relationship or anything.
I don't know about that, but
friend, you say he's just a friend, baby.
Exactly.
So anywho, I messaged him back, and like our first conversation, like we stayed on the phone for like 9 or 10 hours straight, just talking. And I mean, it wasn't sexual or anything like that. It was just basically life and everything. So after that conversation, I decided to give him a shot, and I did give him my number. But you remember the *67, how you could block your number? That's what I did when I called him, because I was like, I don't know, because the internet was just making it like it was real still kind of unsafe for internet dating and corresponding with people over the internet. So I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting myself into. So, and I was 19, 20 at the time. So I was just like, wait a minute, So, but after that conversation, that was all she wrote. We were hooked.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he got a different take, because he was over here saying, he was jumping in several people's inboxes.
I know, right?
Are you trying to crush his ego that you shut him down a couple of times?
I'm not the type to do that, but at the time I was just going through it. And but she ended up hitting me back, and we did talk. And when she hit me back, it was like I didn't even remember. It was like way later.
Okay.
It was like way later.
You didn't remember that you messaged me? Really?
I was like, oh, okay.
The shade.
You feel shady. I do too.
But I mean, we talked and went from there.
Yeah. So we've been together since 2006. We've been married since 2010. So it's been a road. It ain't always been glitz and glamour. I know a lot of people try to make marriage out to be this. It is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's not all glamour what people, and I always tell people, we only show people what we want them to see. Like, you don't see the fights and the arguments and the disagreements, but we both, I can say as a couple, we've grown over the years a lot.
And that's a good thing. The growth is a good thing. And the fact that you're growing and you're still growing together, because a lot of couples, they grow, but they end up growing apart.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's another thing to grow and to elevate together. And that's kind of rare nowadays. That's what holds these marriages together. And we don't have a lot of marriages that's being held together anymore.
Correct. And I can
with social media now, you have it where social media is almost making it seem like marriages is just not going to last.
Right. And I think too, a lot of times we as a general public, our visions are skewed just because we see, a lot of these public relationships, like the celebrities, we see all the glitz and glamour, but we don't see what goes on behind the scenes. And then when it comes out, what goes on behind the scenes, it's like, whoa,
Oh, right.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, everybody wants to be relationship goals, but they don't want to put in the work to actually a meaningful and a great relationship or a foundation. They just want this image because of what society standards are now.
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys told me how you met. What would be your advice? I know you don't have a blended family, but what would be your advice to someone who is trying to pursue a blended family, or a couple, even if they're not married, a couple who's trying to blend their family together or get their families to interact with each other?
Actually, we do have a blended family. Okay. We have a 16-year-old, which was he had before we started. Well, she wasn't 16. She was 1 year old when we met. So she's actually my bonus daughter. So I would say communication. You have to be on the same page with your partner. You have to know basically. You just have to stay in communication, and you have to treat that child like he or she is your own. Because when I married him, I married her as well.
I definitely agree with that. What will be your advice, Derek? What will be your advice, Derek?
From my perspective, I really don't know. I mean, I had a kid coming into it. My mindset was, I'm going to date somebody and they're going to have to accept it or not. And I mean, I don't really have a much advice to give for that. I mean, I was just glad to have somebody who accepted it. And she says I didn't tell her.
He did not tell. He hooked me in, girl. He got me on the talk game, and then I was like,
"That's happened to me before, so I know what you're talking about."
Listen, when he
they wait to get your feelings in it and they ease that in there, like, "Hey, by the way, I got a child."
Misco, let me tell you. Okay, so when we first met, the initial time we met, I looked in his car and I was like, "Who car seat?" And he was like, "Oh, that's my daughter," and I was like. We had a 9-hour conversation, and you did not.
Nowhere in that conversation that you had a daughter.
But it was all good.
Well, I didn't know how serious it was going to be honest. So I was just,
it
was just a friendship, kind of talking, having fun. The vibes was good, but I didn't know how serious it was going to be.
Right. That's true.
That's true. It's not like you had already started dating.
Right. It wasn't like years went by or nothing. I think it was like a week or two.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. So it wasn't, and I knew, once I knew, he introduced me to her. She was a sweetheart, and and he had her full time. So, he needed help. He had to do that curly hair. He couldn't handle it.
Nothing. I had people at my job helping me with that stuff and stuff like that. Yeah.
Get help wherever you can. I have a question for Derek.
Okay.
Derek, when did you know it was time to introduce her to your daughter? Being that she was so young.
I think when we started really getting official, I was, she met her then. When I knew we was gonna be something. I mean.
So when did you know we was gonna be something? That's what she asked.
When we started dating.
When did we start dating?
I don't even know how that went.
I think initially once we met in person, because catfish is real. Like I don't know if you've ever. I've had people who've talked to people who they thought they showed a picture from 20 years ago, and when they meet up, they like, whose picture was this? Whose man was this? So I can really say that I think meeting in person, I think he was like, "Man, you my girl," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm your girl." So I think that's just how it went down.
Yeah, maybe that first meeting in person.
The meeting in person, I think that's exactly what sealed the deal for us.
Okay. So he knew the first meeting that like this was gonna be something.
Yeah.
I think I knew too. Like in my head, I was thinking, "Oh my God, I done met my husband," but I didn't say that because I didn't want to scare him off.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that coming from a man that meeting her for the first time, you knew that this was gonna be something. Because so many men nowadays, it's like they be dating a woman for months and years. And it's like they don't see it. And I don't feel like you should waste your time or their time dating them for that long if you don't see it going anywhere.
Right. Absolutely.
I love the fact way you felt comfortable introducing her to your child, but it wasn't something that like you tried to live two separate lives where you were in a relationship with her and then have your child separate. And I see a lot of people get into that as well. And the good thing is you didn't seem to have any baby mama drama.
Well, I don't know. But get your tea. I'm just kidding. But I will say one of the things that really attracted me to him was the fact that he took such good care of his daughter. Like, for a short period of time, her mother did have her. But when she did have her, he was like, when he got paid, he was like, I got to go get my baby mama straight right quick, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I have to.
My daughter.
I know what you mean, but I'm just saying he had to take money over to his baby mama, to take care of his daughter. Every check, every time he got paid, he was like, we can go out, but I need to go get this money to her first. And I was like, I'm good. Like that actually was a major turn on for me because I was like, okay, you're taking care of your own kids, so I know that's gonna be my future baby daddy,
Well, first, let me say, Derek, salute to you, because a lot of men forget when they have a new relationship to take care of their child, which was there way before that relationship, and is going to be there in the event if that relationship ends. So salute to you on remembering to take care of your child, and salute to you also on the fact that you respected that he was going to put her as a priority.
Right.
Because a lot of there's issues with that, with making sure that the child is a priority, but also knowing how to balance out that priority with your new priority, which is your relationship.
Right. Absolutely.
So it go somewhere.
Yeah, that was, like I said, that really was like, I just had to take a step back, and I was like, okay. Because, you know, there are a lot of times where, you know, I've seen it where guys are like, forget that, I ain't picking up my kid, I'm going out with you. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but that was a thing, like, I'm like clockwork. I'm going to get my daughter, I'm going to give her this money, blah, blah, blah. Then we can hang out. Then we can do what we need to do. So, yeah.
And I feel like it takes a real woman to not only respect that, but to also encourage that in a relationship. Because a lot of times you have females that don't care if the man sees his child or not, or don't care if he take care of his child. As long as she's a priority, that's all she care about. And to me, any man
Right.
that sees that should be a red flag.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you there. Absolutely. So, my advice for
that is continuing working out, because it's led you guys to actually build something that led to marriage.
Right. Absolutely. Yes.
The situation with the child relationship. Hey, you guys are back. You guys, your page started refreshing. I don't know what happened. I was like, I don't know if they can hear me, but
now what were you saying?
I was saying that I salute and commend you guys on the way you handled that situation, because it elevated you to actually where you are now, which is marriage. And a lot of times, because of the way that is not handled properly, it ends this relationship, or it causes toxic, or it just causes issues in the relationship that it can't move forward and grow.
Correct. Agreed. Do you?
So let's get back to the side eye.
Okay.
Of you stating that there was some baby mama. We're not gonna get too personal.
Okay.
But what advice would you give to another sister or brother who's dealing with a baby mama or baby daddy? Both of you.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. For me, it's important to always, I always imagine my daughter will find out or see everything. So I want to make sure I do everything right, and for her to see how to handle this. And I never talk bad about her mother or nothing like that for that reason. I don't want to, because I grew up in kind of a way where there was a lot of influences from both parents on how I should feel about the other one. So I never, I'm going to let her decide on her own what she thinks about whatever situation. So I kind of just made sure that on my end, I do everything right, as if later on down the road, she's going to know about it when she's older.
Correct.
I always kind of think ahead that way, just making sure that your dad did everything right in the end.
Correct.
So that's kind of how I always handle that, and how I handle raising them and everything. I try to do that at least.
Yeah.
I definitely respect that, because nowadays you see parents get on social media and forget that they have kids.
Yeah.
They all their business on there. They bashing their ex. They're bashing their child's father, child's mother, and they fail to realize your kid gonna see this. Social media not going nowhere.
Right.
And it's so easy to get frustrated and at someone that's being unreasonable and venting on social media, stuff like that. But I always think about my daughters and how they would see that.
Correct.
That's more important than getting on social media and,
bashing someone.
Yeah, that is. I don't do that anyway, but
yeah, and even the advice I would give is always like try to put yourself in that person's shoes. I know a lot of times we get complacent and we feel like we couldn't be on the other side, but I always try to put myself in someone else's shoes to see, how I would view this if this were me. And a lot of times I just have to take a step back and let him take the lead role, especially when it comes to his baby's mother and any situation or any ordeal, I think.
I definitely agree with that. We always have to place ourselves in someone else's shoes just to see where they're coming from, because a lot of times we get so consumed in how we feel and what we think should go on, we never be transparent enough to say, okay, well, this person might be acting this way because they feel this way.
Correct.
And there's an action. It was always because of a reaction to something somebody felt, something somebody was led to feed, or whatever. At some point in time, I'm pretty sure his child's mother felt like she was going to be with this man.
Right. Absolutely.
So I definitely can understand that, and like I said, I appreciate him for saying yes. Always put the child first and remember the child first, versus just jumping on social media or telling friends and family even everything. Because it still comes back out sometimes with friends and family down.
Absolutely.
So it's a hard chip to swallow, but sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and swallow your ego and swallow your personal feelings to make sure that you're putting that child first. And I see a lot of parents nowadays lack that in relationships, or even when they become single and they are just a baby mama or a baby father, they still have those tendencies to do those things that they don't realize is eventually going to harm their child.
Correct. Absolutely. Agreed completely.
Yeah, I'm never a bitter person anyway, so either way, even if it wasn't a kid at the time, at the ending of that, I wouldn't have done that anyway, so that's just not...
And I think that's important to say, too, like, that's a good segue, as, like, we do not vent. Like, when we get into it or we have a disagreement or we're not happy with one another, that's the last thing we do on social media, is to jump on social media and make a post or talk about each other. If anything, I get on social media and say, I just love my husband to death,
I'm trying to tell you.
Even though she cussing me, ignoring me.
Listen, I'm cussing him a new one, honey. I'm ripping him a new one in this house, honey. But yeah, I make that a habit. I never get to the point where I want to air out our dirty laundry, because I know we've been through a lot of stuff and we've come through a lot of stuff. And I don't think there's anything that we could not overcome. So, for me and that's even with sharing information with my mother-in-law, my mother, anybody, because, at the end of the day, I think he and I can solve it, versus me bringing a lot of people in.
Well, it's up to us to solve it.
Right.
Anyway.
Early on, I used to tell people everything, and then they would be pissed off at him. And I exaggerate a little bit sometimes.
And not get both sides anyway.
Right. So they would be giving him the side eye. Here I am. Oh, I just love him. And they still giving him the side eye because I done told a story, and it's just like, they pissed off at him, but now I'm in love again. So and that's some advice I would give. Don't share everything with your friends and families, best friends, etc., because they'll hold it against that person, even though you're good with them at this point.
I don't go to social media anyway. If I got a problem, let's say with a friend or something, I call them.
Correct.
I mean, what's the point on going on social media with something like that anyway?
Absolutely.
So
I have yet,
but we live.
Take social media as if their therapist. They put everything
right.
They go live, blast their business. Like, there are paid therapists out here.
Correct.
Talk to the pastor, talk to God, talk to your spouse, talk to that person you got an issue with, but don't bring it to social media.
Absolutely.
Because that just expands the issue. Because then now you have everybody their mama opinion in the situation.
Absolutely. Chiming in. Everybody's chiming in, and then it's just a mess. What you was gonna say? You just go straight to the person?
Yeah, then once it goes straight to the person, I don't.
Correct. But you know, we live in a society where subliminal messages are just everything. Like, everybody wants to throw out a subliminal message and try, you know what I mean? Try to be like,
that is very true.
And then a lot of times those subliminal messages can be read very differently, and people are offended, and you're not even talking about them. So that's why I say just go straight to the source. Seriously.
That's me all day. I try to keep my posts positive. If I say something, and I've seen that with friends, family, previous relationships, people just feel like you talking about them no matter what you post, and it's like, no, baby, you just got to deal with that reflection in the mirror.
Hello.
I ain't nothing to you.
Yes.
I ain't nothing to you. I'm not talking about you. You feel like the post is pertaining to you because you can relate to it.
Right.
Instead of working on what it is about you that you relate to that post, don't feel like I'm pointing the finger at you because I'm too focused on me.
Absolutely. I agree completely. Yeah, and I have noticed your posts are very uplifting, very positive, and we need more of that because you see so much negativity, and it's just like, look, like, life is short, you know, death is random, love your people, and that's another thing. Like, recently here, we have experienced so much with death and just all kinds of things. So my thing is, you know, don't leave out the house upset with your mate. Don't, like, hug your mate, love your loved ones, your friends, your family, because you just never know. Never know.
You definitely never know. I don't care what point someone gets me to, and with me, I have it where I will distance myself from someone before I let them get me to a negative space, or a negative mindset. I'd rather just be like, okay, you want whatever it was that you was arguing about, or whatever it was we was disagreeing about,
right,
and I'll stay over there for a moment. But at the end of the day, before I close my eyes, I'm gonna make sure you know that I still love you. Even though we might be beefing, it ain't all cool.
Right.
I'm gonna still let
Absolutely.
We never know when it might be our last moment. You might walk out the door, or you might go, something might happen to you, and you just never want it to be, I wish I had told them.
Absolutely.
What was said in that argument wasn't meant.
Right. Absolutely. Yes, very well said.
But I hate with, like, social media. I have a tendency to unfollow pages that I see that just, like, post positive stuff. It's just like draining. Like, I can't even scroll down my feed without you.
Yes.
And sometimes people take it, and regardless of age or gender, I feel like people take it like, oh, it's just fun, it's just play. But then at the same time, you're saying you want to manifest things in your life. What are you putting out?
Correct. Absolutely. And I am a firm believer in karma, and, you know, things come back full circle.
Definitely. I am a firm believer in karma, and I think a lot of times people speak on karma so much, but they speak on karma that pertains to other people's lives. They like, oh, you're going to get your karma.
Yeah.
This, that. But what about your karma?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
We forget to realize the same karma that's going to hit this person going to affect us, whether we did something good or we did something bad. The same karma that's going to handle that person is going to handle us.
Absolutely. You're correct. Yes. Completely agree.
So, I would say, let's see, what is your definition? I'll let each of you answer. What is your definition of self-love?
You want to go?
You can go ahead.
You got to think.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him.
So, self-love to me is basically taking, because the thing is, the only person that can make me happy is me. I don't depend on my happiness from him. So, self-care, alone time, meditation, all those things. Like, I have to take care of me. I always say this. I'm a part of another podcast, and this is one of my famous sayings. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So you have to take care of yourself first. Because you can't fill everybody's cup if you're not full yourself or have something to give. Okay, honey? Did I give you some pointers?
Self-love.
You still think about it?
Was that not enough time?
I agree with what you said.
Okay.
I mean, because if you don't love yourself, you're gonna be miserable.
Correct.
And not you can't love others unless you love yourself. I mean, you know, you that's all I really got.
That's all.
That's all I got. I tried to get deep.
Like that's so stuck right now.
That's as deep as I can go.
Derek is a man of short words. He like, that sums it up right there. You gotta love yourself before you love anybody else. I definitely agree with everything you're saying. You gotta put that time and that effort and that energy into yourself before you can put it into anybody else. I think the biggest misconception that a lot of people have with relationships or trying to be in a relationship now is that they can go into a relationship and that relationship will fulfill them.
Correct.
People say, oh, it's 50-50 in a relationship. No, it's 100-100. I need you to come in with your all because I'm bringing my own.
Absolutely. I agree. A whole 100%. I've said that before too. Like, you have to put your all into it. A lot of people I think everybody sees the image of happy relationships, but you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We've gone through a lot of stuff. Like, people look at, when I tell my friends some of the stuff that we've been through, they're like, really? I would have never thought. And it's like, you know, sometimes it's really hard to love that person when you're going through stuff. But when you know you can still love them when you're at your absolute bottom, you know that's the one right there. Absolutely.
Question, can you guys see the comment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because somebody just said they were about to leave until we got to that subject. And them and their girl are going through that right now. They said, "What's up, Brody?"
Okay.
And Vert life.
Yeah, I see that. So what are you and your girl going through? And I'll give you a second because I know those comments, they take a while to come through. My eyes watering.
Yeah, they slightly delayed from the actual live.
Oh, it's Yo. Okay.
What's up,
Yo? That's my boy. What was the subject?
I think
about, I guess, self-love or looking for someone outside of yourself.
Yeah, you can't. You want to go ahead and take it?
Yeah. I'd like to know exactly what.
He might be talking. He might say something else. The comments are a little bit delayed though.
So I mean, like we were saying, people think you got this perfect relationship, but it's not. You can live your life without living it with somebody else, and it's not gonna be perfect.
Correct.
So being with somebody, you can expect it's not gonna be perfect.
Correct.
You're gonna have bad days.
You're gonna have bad weeks.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I think a lot of that goes to mental health. Like today.
Yeah. So that's what he said. His girl needed some space to find love within herself. Yeah, absolutely. Right. I agree. There are some days where I'm just like, let me just go get my nails done. Let me go get my pedicure. I need you to keep the kids. I just need to go by myself. And I mean it happens, and he's all aboard with it because he knows that I get overwhelmed. Like, I'm cooking, cleaning, working, doing everything. You know, not saying that you don't do anything, but I'm just saying I wear a lot of hats. And sometimes I just need to get away and just be by myself. Yeah. So yeah, give her that time to be by herself.
That's best, because if you don't give them that space, it's not gonna be good that whole time. I know from experience.
And my question was, I believe he said his name was Yoke, like evenly yoked. My question to him would be, do she mean space like she just need a day to herself? Or do she mean space like she needs to actually find herself, find her happiness within again? Is she missing peace within herself and she just doesn't want to um, mess up the relationship to where she's taking it out on you because she's just not happy with herself?
Right.
Well, I would say he said he didn't understand that at first, and I didn't either. I mean, if maybe you like me, like I'm not the type to need space.
Yeah, he's very.
When there's an issue, no, not that. When there's an issue, I want to.
Is what she said.
Okay,
yeah.
I want to handle it right then. That's just who I am.
Yeah, and me, I need a cool off period.
So
I can't like if I'm upset, I can't handle it right then. He's a person that's like, come on, let's get this straight right now.
Yeah, because I don't like
it.
I don't like having problems.
I need to get this straight.
I want to get them out.
I'm like, just give me like 10, 15 minutes, or give me an hour just to think, because I think a lot of times when I'm upset, I say hurtful things, and I don't want to say hurtful things.
So, given that, that time, I've learned over time, it'll work out. I mean, give it that time, and it'll come back together. That's always happened. So
right. Absolutely.
It's best to just go ahead and give that person, if they need it, give them what they need, and then you'll get back. That's always how it happens.
Yeah, but definitely give her that space.
But I hate that for Yo.
But I completely understand.
But maybe this right here is giving that time. It's maybe not really a breakup. Maybe it's just the time apart that she needed. Yeah. Nah, it ain't ever over with.
Yeah, it's not. Just give her that time that she needs. A lot of times,
especially 7 years. Nah, it ain't over, bro.
Right. Yeah, just give her that time to find herself and find happiness within herself, because she can't, you can't expect your happiness to come from somebody else. So you have to find it within.
In his situation, I would wonder, when do you know it's time? Okay, I can reach out or talk to this person.
Right.
Because if you give them that time, are they gonna come back? I guess they'll come back to you.
You just kind of have to meet her where she's at. Give her that space and let her know, you still love her and you still want to be with her, but you're allowing her to get her headspace right, because mental health issues are at an all-time high right now. Yeah. Therapy, I would suggest that. I'm an advocate for therapy, mental health. You have to take care of yourself, because if you don't, you're going to get the short end of the stick. Mental health is at an all-time high. You need to see your therapist. You need to do things for yourself. You need to.
They broke up in May. Been reaching out every week. Yeah. It ain't over. I don't think it's.
I don't think it's over either. If you
7 years, you don't just throw that away just over something like that.
Right. Absolutely, I agree. Just keep reaching out and give her all the time that she needs.
Or just let her know I'm here. Hit me up when you're
right, when you're ready,
when you're
to
good.
Rekindle. Yeah, absolutely.
Because we might
just continue, like you were saying, reaching out to her, but also continue to be mindful of what you're saying when you reach out. Reach out
a good point.
Reach out and saying something that let her know you have her back, not just agitated, okay, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? Can we talk? Can we see each other? Be encouraging when you reach out. Be purposeful and mindful when you reach out of what you say to her or how you interact with her. And also just make sure it's a situation of she needs space to get herself together versus she needs space.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, she might be really going through something right now and she doesn't know how to talk to you. And maybe that's something you guys can go to therapy individually for, but also as a couple, so that way you can work through it together.
Agreed.
Yeah. So also, he said, maybe wait till then, I guess. But also let her know you there if she needs to talk.
Right. Absolutely. And Yeah. Definitely agree with both of you guys.
I've been there before. I know. I try to, I had to learn about that space thing myself, so because I wasn't.
He's not
I'm
a
not
space
like that.
giver. He's not a space giver.
And I wanna deal with something right now. If we got an issue,
let's handle it right now, today,
we're gonna handle it now. That's how I've been with everybody my whole life. But in a relationship, it's the two of you. It's not just me and how I think it should be handled. So I had to learn that, and it always work out.
It does. It does. And whether you guys get back together or not, no, I ain't no space to be.
There's 30 days no contact.
So I guess
I feel you, man, because maybe it's me, but I'm not like I'm the same way as Derek is. He said, whatever it is, we need to fix it right now.
Yeah.
But understand that some people get so riled up in their feelings. Like she said, you don't want to go to her and she hurts you, and that's not her intention. Right. It's just coming from a place of hurt. So she has to deal with that and deal with herself before she can deal with you.
Right. I agree. But yeah, I know everybody has different approaches. Definitely, Derek is in your face. Let's handle it right now. Like, I shut the door and lock it. He done picked the lock and he's like, okay.
Nah, we're not done until I'm done.
I done locked the door. He done picked the lock and he's like, you ready to talk? And I'm just like, I thought I locked that door.
But also, I would tell him to be mindful of what he does with his time, his energy, and his thoughts while she is needing this space. Utilize this time to work on something for yourself.
Absolutely.
Don't focus all of your energy and time on her to where you start becoming miserable and you start thinking about like this is a breakup, because then it's putting negative thoughts and negative energy into you. And when she comes back, then now you're not whole.
Right, absolutely. Yeah,
you're not feeling yourself.
Yeah, take this time to build yourself. Take up a new hobby. Do something that you like doing so that you're not spending all your free time reaching out or thinking about her. And I know that it's kind of hard to do that because you love her and you really want it to work. But sometimes that space, that space is everything sometimes for me anyway.
Yeah, but also you can't really force it together. And you gotta, because forcing it just ain't gonna work. It's never worked out. Mm-hmm. Even when I think it should, it don't. And also my approaches during those times haven't always been the best, because I'm frustrated that this is lingering on. And that's frustrating to me.
And I've gotten better, let me mind you, because I can hold on to some stuff.
And let's say, I'll give an example. I can't think.
What kind of example?
A bad approach. Like, you still mad about this after all the stuff I do?
And that's what he do. Misco.
I'm guilty of that.
Not the grudge holder.
And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm thinking about all the stuff I do, and you holding this little thing against me for this long. But that's not going to solve the problem.
No, it's not.
That's going to keep it going too.
Absolutely.
But not saying Yoke do it that way, but that's how sometimes I've handled it, and that's not a good way to do it.
Yeah, because he sometimes his approach is not the best, and I can say my approach is not the best either. But we are both works in progress. I can say that, and I think we've grown a lot because recently, like, we get into it and we get over it just like that. Would you say that?
I do.
Get your team, Misco. Look.
I do.
Shade.
Well, a lot of problems, having an 11-year marriage marriage is stupid shit.
Yeah, like we don't, honestly, our biggest argument the other day, what was it over? I was telling somebody the other day.
I used the Lysol wipes to clean up a mess.
So listen. Okay, so the Lysol wipes are to disinfect areas that are commonly touched. So I asked him, I said, please don't use the Lysol wipes, because my daughter had spilled soda all over the counter. I said, don't use the Lysol wipes on there. Keeps watering. Okay, so you can hear us now. It was buffering. So the Lysol wipes thing. So I told him, I said, use the spray under the sink and use the dish rag. There wasn't any spray under the sink, but I knew I had some Lysol, the concentrated that you could put in the spray bottle and spray. So he used the wipes, and I kid you not, we argued for like 3 hours over there.
3 hours.
2 hours, an hour?
Not even an hour.
I don't know, but we kept that thing going over the Lysol wipes. And that's so silly.
And she said, because it's hard to come by Lysol wipes, I pulled up Amazon and ordered it. And it was a Lysol container there the next day. So.
And then Misco, so that.
Wait a minute. We're not this petty. We're not arguing over Lysol wipes.
Yeah, that's what it is now. I mean.
So I was so upset, and then when the Lysol wipes showed up, I was even madder because I was like, you can't find them. And then he was like, here you go. And I was just like, leave me alone.
You was having a moment and you was looking for something to get upset with him about, and you chose Lysol wipes.
No,
that's petty. That's petty.
Me.
We having an argument over Lysol wipes.
But you know what, Misco? That is our arguments are never over anything major. It's all over little stuff. It's not like he cheated or went out and was doing some crazy stuff. It's never like that. It's always something very minute and minor. And I mean, it's crazy, but it's just like I talk to friends that really deal with issues. They laughing at us. We talk to people that's really dealing with issues, and we really don't have big issues.
Lysol wipes is our issue.
Yeah, okay, Misco, this is something else that really ticks me off.
That's gonna be my comment on all of her posts going forward. Lysol wipes.
So another thing was we got into it over yogurt on a spoon. Like I told him, rinse the yogurt off the spoon before you put it in the sink. Well, it really, I don't know why it irks me so, because when I'm washing the dishes, it sticks to the spoon, like the yogurt, and I'm just like, rinse the yogurt off the, we really was arguing like an hour over yogurt on the spoon. So, I mean, it's nothing really major. We don't, and I have to get in my head, is it, pick my battles. Is it really that serious? Is it really that serious to have an hour argument over yogurt on the spoon? Just wash the spoon, Just soak the spoon in the dishwasher and be done with it. I keep watering.
Okay, well, we're not trying to take no sides, but Derek.
Hey, it don't matter. I won. I got the container.
I feel like your wife is saying that she's frustrated, but she don't know what she's frustrated about. She's finding petty stuff.
You gotta find.
Is it that you was just used to being so, Mitra? Is it just used that you were being so you were used to being so independent that he comes along?
No.
And it's almost like he's everything you wanted, but it's almost like you're trying to self-sabotage.
I don't know. It might be that.
I don't know if we got much of an independent mindset, because we got together at 20
and 21. Yeah.
There wasn't really ever much independence.
But I am I am kind of, I can do it myself. Like, okay, Misco, I'm glad that you said that because today, this is why I'm missing all my nails, okay? I broke 1, 2, 3, 4 nails all at one time. Let me tell you how I did this. So there was a table in our living room, and it was just taking up space. And he was like, I want to get rid of it. I'm going to take it to the dump. And I was like, no, take it out backyard. We can use it in the backyard. So he told me, he said, you want me to take it up that hill? I said,
it's a heavy-ass table.
I said, yeah, take it up the hill and put it right there. And he was like, oh.
I took it up the hill.
No. Let me tell the story. He said, oh, God. I said, if I need to move the table, I can move it myself.
Ain't no way.
Wait. So I was like, I can move the table myself. So then he takes the table all the way up the hill.
You said up the hill.
But I wanted it beside one of our little decks out there so the girls could put like their toys and play on it. And anywho, so he took the table way up there, and I said, no, that's not where I wanted it. I wanted it right here. So then he was like, oh, doing all this, being very extra. So I was like, do I need to move the table? I said, because I can move the table
I don't
myself.
know where you are, but we're in North Charlotte. It's 90 degrees. And I'm hauling this big table around the yard, up and down hills. Said, move it over here beside the deck. I moved it over there. I said, it ain't gonna look right. Move it there. Yeah, it don't look right. Move it again. All right, pick it up. Move it again. Finally where she wanted, and I'm done. I'm done with it.
So then he moved it where I wanted, but it wasn't flush against the retaining wall. So he said, you can't move it. So I pulled the table, flush like I wanted. And as soon as I pulled it, all my nails popped off. And he started laughing. He was so...
That's what you get for messing with that heavy table. Should have left it alone. You'd have had all your nails on there. And I wouldn't have been out there sweating. But that's like, stupid, silly stuff.
That's the kind of stuff we argue. Like, it's really not big major issues. So,
and I'm over here laughing because I'm agreeing with him. Like, she messed with the table, didn't she? She lifted the table that she was like, oh, I don't know why he acting like that. Why I got him moving it around. Now, you said it's 90 degrees here. It's 100+ degrees here in Miami. So I can only imagine out in that heat and then the humidity.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if you was up north or anything,
but Miami, they hot too. So he was missing. He was out there sweating. I was like, not right there. No, move it right there. And he just moving it, and he was just looking at me like, what is wrong with you? And then I broke all my nails off.
You know what we call that?
What's
Karma.
that?
Karma.
Yeah. Instant karma. Instant karma.
Instant.
And I didn't want to show him, but he heard me scream. So he was like, what?
No, I knew. I just wanted you to say it, but...
So the next time you feel like you about to have a petty moment, just make sure you remember karma.
Yes, ma'am. I agree.
For you. Yours is instant.
Instant. Yes. So do you have any other questions on your list? You want to pick another number? Can we pick another number?
Well, we went over everything. Yeah, actually, we went over everything in different topics. So I will give you guys once again an opportunity to tell everyone who you are, because I see some people who just came in, as well as tell them where they could find you on social media. So drop your handles.
Okay, so of course, It's Grady Baby is tagged in this post. So if you want to go over to It's Grady Baby, our link for Anchor is there, but we're on iHeart, we're on Spotify,
Apple
Apple Podcasts. We're on all the major streaming services. So just type in It's Grady Baby. You'll be able to hear some of our funny stories, especially when I'm being stubborn and crazy.
Yeah, a lot of funny stories.
Which sounds often. Our prayers are with you, Derek.
I'm serious. You're right, though. You're right. You can follow him at B0_Derek on Instagram, and In My Own Lane Driving Fast is my handle, and of course it's Grady Baby. And you wanna plug anything else?
I think that takes care of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope everything work out with you, yo.
And we appreciate you for having us on. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for coming on. It has definitely been a pleasure. Do you guys believe in the law of attraction? I definitely do. What you put out is what you're going to attract. So be mindful of what you speak, what you think, what you feel, because you're manifesting it. And I always say that also on posts. Be careful what you putting out, even if you think it's just you joking. You still putting it out in the energy.
Absolutely, yeah. I agree with that 100%, and I do believe in the law of attraction. Of course, I do.
Yeah, that's exactly why I don't bash people on social media or anything like that. I don't put any negative energy out there. If I got something bad, normally it ain't bad. I might have an issue with somebody. I'll take it straight to them, and we normally work it out. You know.
Right.
A lot of times it's a misunderstanding or something.
That's called being a mature adult. That was shade, because a lot of people fail to realize, like, that's just being an adult. Nowadays, it seems like, okay, you think it's an adult to get on social media to put a subliminal when you could have just spoke to that person?
Absolutely. I agree. Because honestly, I have done that before, but this was years and years ago. Like, do you ever get your memories back on Facebook or something and see it and just cringe? Like, I'm just like, oh my God, did I really post that? But growth is major, and I'm so happy that I'm growing. Like, I'm not where I need to be, but I'm getting there. So.
We might not where you need to be, but you're definitely not where you used to be, as they always say.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, progress.
I have a question. What sign are you guys? What's your sign?
I'm an Aquarius. What's your sign, Misco?
I'm a Libra.
Okay.
So we balance out everybody. He said he's a Taurus?
Yes.
What would you? I've never seen a Taurus so calm.
Really?
What's that?
She never seen. Well, you never seen him mad though.
I'm not always calm.
Leo. Okay, Yo said he's the Leo. Oh God.
Acting like I'm calm and cool all the time. I'm not.
He is not. He does definitely have his moments, but I think we all do sometimes. So.
Yeah.
But when I say calm, I'm saying in the sense that Taurus are said to be very stubborn, and it seems to be the other way around.
Oh, he is that.
He's stubborn.
I'm very stubborn. If somebody tell me I can't do something, I will figure it out.
Let me tell you something. He will build a house in the rain if you tell him he cannot build a house.
I can't do it, I'll be out there building.
He will build a house in the rain.
So that's why you use the wipes, because she told you not to.
The mess was getting up one way or another.
Yo said he's a Leo. We're not even going to talk about Leos, because I got a whole Leo. So we're not even going to discuss Leos. You might want to keep that to yourself, Yo. Because I ain't even going to get on the Leos right now.
But yeah, but I think we both kind of balance each other out, honestly. Yeah.
Well, like I said before, it has been a pleasure having you guys on. Thank you for coming on to my platform, showing your platform. If you guys aren't already following them, please follow them at It's Grady Baby on all social media platforms. You said Instagram, Twitter.
Oh no,
Facebook.
It's Brady Baby on Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. And if you guys are looking to find their name, if you click at the top where it says my name, all you have to do is drop down and you can follow them from right there.
Absolutely.
Before you get off the live.
Thank you. And you guys make sure you go to slayglamlife.com and get y'all products. Because, man, my soap, I love my soap. My spray, I love my spray. My girls love my spray. They're always like, can I just get one spray, please? It feels so good. Thank you. Yes. We love it.
And I'm happy that it's natural so that kids can wear it. It's not something that's going to irritate their skin. Right. So you definitely follow my business page, which is Slay Glam Life. That's SLAYGLAMLIFE. I always have to look up when I say it.
But yeah,
like you read the alphabet.
My soap as well. Oh my gosh, I love it. It lathers so well. I do love my soap.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast tonight. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I will have on Beats by Bird coming all the way. I believe he's out of Dallas or Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Any last words that you guys want to wrap up for tonight?
No, we just thank you for having us on. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. As I said before, make sure you hit at the top of the screen to go ahead and follow them at It's Brady Baby. And once you hit follow them at It's Brady Baby, make sure you follow their personal pages as well, In My Own Lane. And you said B0 Derek?
Yes. Underscore.
Okay.
Yes.
B0 _ Derek.
Yes. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a great night. Why is everybody and their mama coming on now?
All right.
It's so crazy because when I went live, literally minutes before I went live, it was everybody and their mama popping up live. And I was like, oh gosh, we're not going to have a good turnout because there's so many people going live right now at the same time.
Yeah.
But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope we were able to offer you some advice with your relationship, also with your self-growth. And that's what we want you, of course, to focus on, your self-growth, because the better you are as a person, the better you can be to someone else.
Absolutely.
You guys have a blessed night. Stay tuned. See you tomorrow.
Thanks.
See ya.